And welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna lie to you, I have both been having a great week so far, and simultaneously, I really hate to say it, but let's be honest, nobody wants war. But when you see tyrants of the earth running, running away, and flying to Germany or Cyprus, I don't know. People are trying to figure out where Benjamin Netanyahu is located. Some are saying that he's still in the state of Israel. I don't know where he is. All I do know is he is a coward. He is somebody that cannot fight beside behind a wall, like Allah says in the Quran. They cannot fight you except behind walls. That's it. And it doesn't mean literally just him, but what it means is like when it comes to combat, face-to-face combat, they can't do it. All right. And speaking of face-to-face combat, this really brings me to one of my topic of how boots on the ground is the only way to have a regime change happening in Iran. That's harder said than done. Okay? Sorry. That's easier said than done. It's extremely hard due to the terrain, due to the mountainous region in that area. So this idea of trying to topple Iran was a failed idea from the beginning due to the location of it. I've been doing a lot of reading. I've been watching a lot of videos trying to comprehend the situation that's been going on over there because there are so many misinformations out there. And to be quite honest with you guys, this is why I'm not pulling out much videos about this topic, because I don't want to give you guys a false information. People are coming up with so many things. Like at the beginning, people already insinuating the fact that Benjamin Netanyahu has already been killed when that wasn't the case. See what I mean? Now imagine if I was to get on here right away and then just tell you guys right away, oh, Benjamin Netanyahu gone. I wouldn't be that credible. You guys probably would be like, oh, he's just somebody who's a grifter trying to, you know what I mean? So that's kind of why I haven't been really chasing the trying to upload as much video as possible. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I started off by posting this because this is, pray for Tel Aviv to burn the same way it burned Gaza. I mean, this is how we're all feeling. You know what I mean? This is how we're all feeling. Whether you like it or not, this is how everybody's feeling on the internet. Okay? And so, this brings me to one of my topic, which I've been putting a lot of emphasis on. A lot of people know about this. If you have been dabbling a little bit into the whole entire Israel situation and geopolitics, you will understand that the state of Israel pretty much runs off of war. These people, they know that the only way they could be united is only if they have an external enemy out there, which is why they're constantly fighting with everybody, because they always want to feel like the victim. They always want to feel like everybody is against us, you know? And so despite us knowing that Iran hadn't done nothing, Iran was not on the verge of building a nuclear bomb like the way our president Benjamin Netanyahu has been saying for the past 40 years, his word, not mine. Despite all the information out there, yet they still attacked anyway. And even though they attacked, people think that Iran is the only one doing damage in the Middle East. And let's go ahead and see what Tucker Carlson had to say about this. Breaking news: Israeli false flag. Tucker Carlson revealed that Qatar and Saudi Arabia caught Mossad agent plotting bomb to massacre local. Israel is trying to start a large war. It is a parasite in the region. It's time to let it loose. Israel runs off of the idea that with deception thou shalt start war. This is their model. They've been running on that idea for quite a while now. So to be quite honest with you, it doesn't surprise me. Genuinely, it does not surprise me. And some of the, based off of, not some, but after watching the Tucker Carlson's podcast, one thing that he said was Israel is trying to kick out America from the Middle East. That's what Israel is trying to do. And based off of the way they've been acting, based off of the fact that they're trying to cause false flag attack in in Qatar, pretty much in the region, right? And in fact, I heard they're actually getting ready to blow up Masjid al-Aqsa and then blame it on the Iranians, saying that, oh, it was a bomb that came from Iran that landed here that blew it up, when in reality, they're the one that did it. Because they know that them destroying Masjid al-Aqsa, while Muslims are aware of it, that they did it, will cause a lot of uproars. And so right now, they're trying to destroy Masjid al-Aqsa and blame it on Iran. So that way, the anger that's going to be coming from the Muslim is going to be diverted to the Iranian. So let's listen to what Qatar had to say about this right here.
Now, that wasn't a risk from the Israeli standpoint. That was the point. That was the point. They wanted to diminish the Gulf, and in 2 days they have. And I think anyone who likes decency and order and cleanliness is hoping that the Gulf will recover. The Gulf is not a threat to us. We have military bases in these countries. These are some of our closest allies. All of them are closer allies than Israel, by far. They're our friends, but they've been really hurt. And in a place like Dubai, which is basically part of a country, it's an emirate within the United Arab Emirates, but it's also a luxury brand, basically. People go to Dubai because it's beautiful and rich and clean, and above all, because it's safe and orderly. It's got the busiest airport in the world. You start seeing video on Instagram of smoke in the Dubai airport, and you're like, I think I'm going to Cabo this year. Oh, sorry, drug cartels. Whatever. Maybe you go to Sedona this year. It really, really hurts these countries. And Israel wanted to hurt these countries. That's the point. Wanted to hurt these countries. Wanted to sow chaos and disorder because they are rivals of Israel. So it's probably not, hasn't been reported, but it's a fact that last night, in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, authorities arrested Mossad agents planning on committing bombings in those countries. Now, that's weird. That doesn't make any sense. Why would the Israelis be committing bombings in two Gulf countries, which are also being attacked by Iran? Aren't they on the same side? No. No. Israel wants to hurt Iran and Qatar and UAE, and Saudi, and Bahrain, and Oman, and Kuwait.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know why Israel is doing this, okay? FYI, this came out before they attacked Iran. Okay, listen to this.
Turkish threat.
Hold up, let me make sure. Okay, that's the highest the volume goes. But let's listen to this, right?
A new Turkish threat is emerging. I want to be very clear. Turkey and Qatar have gained influence in Syria, are seeking influence elsewhere and everywhere throughout the region. And from here, I warn, Turkey is the new Iran. Erdogan is sophisticated, dangerous, and he seeks to encircle Israel. And while some senior Israelis were on Qatar's payroll, Qatar and Turkey are nourishing the Islamic Brotherhood monster that is growing and eventually might become as dangerous as the one created by Iran. Turkey and Qatar are gaining influence not only in Syria, but also in Gaza, through the front door, and everywhere, and trying to create a new choke ring. Turkey is trying to flip Saudi Arabia against us and establish a hostile Sunni axis with nuclear Pakistan.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this brings me to this right here. This is from the Quran, by the way. Chapter 2, verse 11. When they are told, do not spread corruption in the land, they reply, we are only peacemakers. So, ladies and gentlemen, you may be wondering, okay, what does Turkey have anything to do with the state of Israel? Turkey, according to my knowledge, Turkey hasn't attacked Israel yet. Turkey, in fact, has been helping out Israel despite the genocide that has been going on in Gaza. Yet, they still labeled Turkey an enemy and also Qatar. And this brings me to, that's right, our greater Israel here. So, if you have been sleeping under a rock, then this information is for you. Okay? It's pretty obvious that they are pretty much trying to achieve this greater Israel goal right here. Okay? And Iran is obviously one that's in their way. They are trying to take over this whole entire region. They're trying to make sure Saudi Arabia and Qatar, All right. And all these areas are completely destabilized. Okay. Because you have to understand that this is the middle of a desert. These people not only rely on, like, they rely on pretty much a lot of export. And so Israel is trying to cripple this entire region. So that way, when they take over this whole entire area, they have no other choice but to bend knees to Israel. And Turkey is extremely powerful. They do not want Turkey to step in when they decide to, well, bomb their neighbors even more. Turkey is very, very powerful. Once when Syria fell to Bashar al-Assad, this made Turkey powerful. Like he said, they've gained a lot of influence in Syria. Same thing with Iran. If Iran gets toppled, this also makes Turkey very, very powerful. They know that already. So while Iran is on a rampage right now, destroying all the military base in Saudi Arabia, okay, they are using this opportunity to also destroy the oil factories there, because they also want to topple, apparently they also want to topple the entire, Dubai and Saudi Arabia and all these areas, because they want these countries to rely on them. That's number one. Number two, they want the Arabs of this region to also migrate to where? You guessed it, to Europe. So to the Europeans out there, guess what? Migrant situation is about to get a lot worse. And you think that Arabs just don't want to live in the middle of the desert. They don't want to live in this area. Rather, they want to go to Europe. That's not the case, ladies and gentlemen. That is not the case. These people here, they're the one who's causing all the problems. They're the one who's causing the destabilization of this whole entire area, using America and American weapons to do it. And these people in the Arabs in the desert, they have nowhere else to go except for migrate to where? Europe, where you guys have left the door open for them to do so. Your problem is not with the Arabs. The Arabs they just want to live their lives. Your problem is with these people here. And now not only are they trying to destabilize this whole entire region, they are not trying to take down Turkey. Majority Muslim country, FYI. And yet you guys don't seem to see it.